Okay, this word problem says it's interior design. Your interior design has to do with um, making the living spaces of houses. Architecture is building the house itself. Interior design is creating the inside of the house that the residents will interact with. Interior design is pretty cool because that's really when you walk into a house, the architecture gives you the bones of it, but you really see, the cabinetry and all the appliances and how everything's designed really can make or break a space. So, big fan of interior design. So, what's it saying? The area of a rectangular kitchen tile is represented by this trinomial, 8x squared plus 30x plus 7. What are the possible dimensions of the tile? Well, you don't know the exact numbers for the area, but you know that if it's represented by that trinomial and if it's a rectangle to find the area, you would do length times width. What we're trying to find out is what times what gives us 8x squared plus 30x plus 7. So essentially we're just taking this trinomial that they gave us over here and we are factoring it, okay, to see what times what would give us that. Now, following our rules, we say we're going to take the a and c values and multiply them together. 8 times 7 is 56. So we're going to come up with all the factors of 56. And since this term here, the constant term is positive, we say they're both the same sign, and this tells us what they both are. They're both positive. So we're just looking for positive numbers. 1 times 56, or 2 times 28, or not 3 times anything, because 5 plus 6 from the 56. 5 plus 6 adds up to 11, and 11 is not a multiple of 3. So the whole thing is not a multiple of 3. Can you do 4 times anything? Yeah, I can double 2 to get 4, and I can take half of 28 to be 14. Okay, now let's keep going, but we've already found our set actually, because you can see that the numbers have to add together to 30, and these two numbers add together to 30. So we don't even need to finish this out. I will though, just to get some practice at how we do it. 5 times anything? Nope, doesn't end in 5 or 0. 6 times anything? It didn't work for 3. Remember, we couldn't do 3 times something. If it doesn't work for 3, it will never work for multiples of 3. So 6 is a multiple of 3. It didn't work for 3. It won't work for 6. Does it work for 7? Yeah, 7 was one of the numbers we used. 7 times 8 to get 56. And we've met in the middle. This number is going up. This number is coming down, and we've met in the middle. Now, if we kept going, the next number would be 8. We've already got that. That would be 8 times 7. We've already found that set of them. Okay? As we did in the other ones, we're going to write the original 8x squared, the leading term. We're going to put that 7 at the end. Sorry about that. This term here is there, and that term there is there, right? Those two terms stay the same. And what this term, 30x, turns into is the two numbers that we found, the 2x and the 28x. That 2 and 28 we just found over here circled in green. That was our pair. Okay, so that's all we did there is we wrote the first term the same, that's 7. That's 7 right there. The first term was the same, the last term was the same, and the middle term was just split from 30x into 2x plus 28x, matching the numbers we just found. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself just to be sure that everybody's getting it. So if you're already getting it and you're saying, yes, I know, Mr. Massey, I know how to do that, then great. Okay, now we're going to group them. I want to see what we can factor out. What can we factor out of 8x squared and 2x? We can divide them both by 2, and we can pull an x out of both of them. So what are we left with? Well, 8x squared divided by 2x is 4x, and 2x divided by 2x is 1. Okay, and what do we get for the next one? Well, what can we factor out of 28x plus 7? Well, those are both multiples of 7, so we put a positive 7 out there. We have to identify it as positive or negative because we need pluses or minuses to separate things. And then what are we left with? If we divided them both by 7, 28x divided by 7, 4x, 7 divided by 7, 1, and we get what we always want to get, which is the same term twice inside. So then the first term becomes what we factored out of the first pair, 2x, and what we factored out of the second pair, the 7. And then the second polynomial is whatever was left each time inside the parentheses, in which that was 4x plus 1. That is our answer. And so possible dimensions of the tile, 2x plus 7 times 4x plus 1. And then if you had an actual area that you knew, or you knew what x was, you could figure out the area. You now have the information to find the dimensions of the rectangle.